Welcome to Betrayal Narratives. In today's video, she took everything from me, but I will take back my son. The Greyhound station smelled like broken dreams and burnt coffee, the kind of place where time forgets people and people forget themselves. I sat on a cracked plastic chair that clung to my skin like guilt. Watching my 14-year-old son Leo pretend he wasn't falling apart, his fingers trembled over a phone that hadn't buzzed in hours. Rain hammering the windows like bullets, even the sky taking shots at us. "When's the bus coming?" he asked for the third time, voice cracking like a boy who hadn't slept in days. "When it gets here, kiddo," I answered, steady on the outside, screaming inside. 3 days earlier, I was Dylan Crow, warehouse manager, husband, father, homeowner, future. Now I was Dylan Crow, evicted, divorced, unemployed, to duffel bags, and a boy who deserved better than this nightmare. My phone buzzed, a text from Evelyn, Miranda's younger sister, the sister who had gone radio silent since the day Miranda kicked us out. "Don T, get on that bus. I'm coming. It's important." I stared at the screen like it was written in a foreign language, then told Leo, "Change of plans, your aunt's coming." 20 minutes later, a black BMW slid through the rain. Evelyn stepping out in heels that clicked like a countdown. Eyes red like she'd been crying. Evelyn, who never cried. "Get in, both of you. Now," she said, voice shaking more than the engine. Leo grabbed his bag, asked where we were going, and Evelyn answered, "To see your mother," in a tone that froze my blood. Miranda was supposed to be in Chicago at a conference. But Evelyn corrected me. "She's never been in Chicago. Dylan, she's living in Trent Harlan's mansion, married 6 weeks ago. Big ceremony, all her friends were there. She told everyone you signed the divorce papers months ago." The city blurred past as we drove toward the expensive side of town. Evelyn finally admitting Miranda had been lying for months, living with Trent. Planning this exit while I worked 60-hour weeks believing I was building a family. The gates of Riverside Hills opened like jaws, revealing a 3-story glass and stone monument to everything I wasn't. Trent waited on the steps like a man who owned the world because he did. Silver hair, perfect teeth, a baby in his arms. Miranda stepped out behind him, cream dress costing more than my annual salary. Hair styled shorter, eyes colder, holding a stranger's smile. She rushed to Leo, tears streaming. "My beautiful boy, I've missed you," and never looked at me. Trent extended a free hand. "You must be Dylan. I've heard so much about you." I didn't shake it. Inside, the mansion was a mausoleum of wealth. Marble, crystal, art that belonged in museums. Miranda led us to a living room the size of my former house, telling Leo she'd prepared a room upstairs. Gaming setup, private bath, Riverside prep, next week. The best private school in the state. Leo asked about me, and Miranda said custody would be handled through proper legal channels. Meaning visitation, meaning I was now a guest in my son's life. I stood, said I needed to talk to Leo alone. Miranda refused, calling the bus station our sum total telling. Leo, she could give him opportunities I never could, telling me I was welcome to visit as long as I stayed within boundaries. I looked at Leo, told him no matter where he lived or what school he attended, he was my son. That would never change. Then walked out past Trent's security guys who escorted me to the gate like a drunk being removed from a club. I stood in the rain watching iron bars close between me and my boy. Leo's palm pressed to an upstairs window like a prisoner. My phone showed $37 and no missed calls, so I started walking, rain soaking through the jacket that used to be part of a life with a mortgage and a future. 16 years of marriage, 16 years of dinners and homework and weekend soccer. Erased in the time it took Miranda to sign papers and change locks. Downtown office towers loomed, reminding me Miranda was now inside them, making the money that bought mansions and new families while I became a cautionary tale. My phone rang, unknown number, Detective Roy Slater. The man Miranda hired to dig through my finances looking for hidden assets that didn't exist. He said he'd heard what happened, said he knew the difference between bad people and people who got screwed. Said he knew a guy who ran a security firm, entry-level surveillance work, $15 an hour plus access to databases and truth. I took the address, slept in a cheap motel, and started over. Kim's Security Solutions operated out of a converted warehouse. James Kim, former detective.com, eyes that had seen everything twice. He offered surveillance, background checks, process serving. Warned me this wasn't about revenge, but documentation, evidence, staying legal. I signed the papers, began learning how to watch people without being seen, how to build a case instead of a grudge. Leo and I texted carefully. Miranda monitored his phone, our words stilted, coded. His grades dipped. He got into fights. He told me kids said I was a deadbeat who abandoned him for money. He punched one, got suspended, asked why I didn't fight harder. I told him you can't make someone love you if they don't want to. But you can choose to fight for the people who still do. Evelyn found me again, drunk and crying. Said Catherine Harlan, Trent's first wife, had called her the night before she died. Terrified, said Trent threatened her. Said she had evidence. Said if anything happened, check Unit 247. Evelyn handed me a key. We drove to a rundown storage facility, opened the door to boxes of bank statements, offshore records, USB drives. A laptop organized like an accountant's revenge. Catherine had documented millions laundered through shell companies. Transfers just under federal reporting limits, emails between Trent and Russian contacts, and a letter to her attorney dated the day before she died. I am genuinely afraid for my safety. Trent said accidents happen to people who don't know when to keep their mouths shut. Audio files captured. Trent's voice, calm and lethal. You think you can destroy me, Catherine? Accidents happen. People disappear. You should remember that. 6 recordings, each more chilling. The final 1 hour before her car left the road on a rainy night. Evelyn and I copied everything, returned the originals, began building an airtight case. Documenting Trent's nightly drunkenness, his underground poker losses, Miranda's complicity in legitimizing dirty money through her real estate ventures. We set a sting. Former federal agent Robert Chen posed as a representative of another criminal organization. Wired for sound, met Trent at an upscale restaurant, offered to launder money through legitimate businesses. Trent admitted 20% fees, admitted using political donations to buy protection. Admitted his first wife became a problem. Admitted her tragic accident was no accident. We had him on tape confessing to money laundering, bribery, homicide. But Leo was alone in the house with a man who disposed of problems. I rang the bell, told Trent my mother had a heart attack. Leo needed to say goodbye. Trent raised a baseball bat. Leo appeared at the top of the stairs, saying he knew what Trent did to Catherine. I disarmed Trent. Leo ran to me. We left the mansion as sirens closed in. FBI tipped anonymously. Recordings delivered. 6 months later, Trent got life without parole. Miranda, 5 years for accessory. Leo came home. We moved to a smaller life with bigger truth. We sit in parks now, no mansion, no trust fund, just us. And that is enough. Because love is not mediocrity. Love is the most powerful force in the world, strong enough to overcome money, status, and criminal conspiracy, strong enough to bring a son home and a father back from the dead. She took everything from me, but she couldn't take my name, my truth, my son. And in the end, that was all I needed to take everything back.